I hope that a lot of my friends are there and that you notice that I'm going live now. Yeah, I haven't been live for a little while, but you know that I really like to talk about a lot of the issues that relate to stuttering. And I really love bringing up different issues that people really find troublesome, some things that might be controversial. You know, I call myself the unconventional clinician, and I do have some unconventional ideas about stuttering. And one of the ones that I really feel strongly about is something that brings up a whole lot of controversy, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The subject is really about running, but not running with your feet. It's running with your effort and trying so hard to speak fluently. And there are so many people who have been running after fluency and believe with all their heart that that is the way to go, and they are looking for a technique, something that they can do that will miraculously make their speech fluent. And hi Anna, great to see you. So there are those people, and then there are other people who have been struggling to be fluent and who say, that's not for me. I'm going to accept that I stutter, and that is what can be for me. I have tried, I've done this, I tried this technique and that technique, and nothing is really working. And so I'm just going to accept that I stutter, and there's no other way. And it's become so that these two approaches, oh thanks, hi Chris, and Anna, thanks for the compliment. It's always good to get a compliment. And there are these two major ways of looking at stuttering. One is that I gotta be fluent. I gotta try to be fluent. I'm gonna do anything just to be fluent. And the other is I'm not gonna do anything. I am going to accept that I stutter, and I think that it's wrong to teach anyone how to speak in a different way. And as a matter of fact, hi Mostak, as a matter of fact, Mostak, you missed, but I'll be around. Don't worry, I'll be around. There was a discussion in one of the stuttering community groups about this subject too this week. And I think it came at a very appropriate time, since this is what I plan to talk about. Good night, Anna. In the discussion was that, you know, some people who do have wins, some of the people who believe that chasing fluency is the wrong way to go, even look negatively at somebody who has a win, who gets on a group and says that they've done something, and sometimes people who are doing something to try to speak fluently or learning a technique, they haven't got patience for people who just want to accept their fluency, so they're stuttering. So it works in both ways. And I think this is really something that we have to learn how to deal with. it doesn't have to be that there is one way or the other. But I am going to go into the camp that says chasing after fluency is not a beneficial way to go. That's my belief. I have been working with people who stutter for so many years, and I know that chasing after fluency and just wanting to get that word out and just wanting to be fluent is not going to bring you happiness. It's not going to make you feel good. It's not going to give you an easier time speaking. Actually, you're just going to make it hard for yourself and get very, very frustrated. And I'll tell you why. The reason is that when you try to be fluent, you are looking at your speech and you are doing things that are not part of what natural speaking is. And so there's a reason why people who have learned techniques don't like to do them, because most of them require effort. Most of them do not fit in with something that a naturally fluent speaker does. And even if they stutter less, they're tiring. They require a lot of thought. They require maybe measuring how many syllables you're going to say on a breath, or trying to speak slowly or in an unnatural way. They require doing something. Most of the techniques do. There might be some people out there doing something that is close to speaking naturally. I know I'm one of them, but there are probably others out there too. But most techniques don't. Let's take gentle onsets, for instance. Maybe there's something good in gentle onsets, but it's not that I have to think of when I'm going to start my syllable and gently activate my vocal cords and think about how strongly I'm going to increase the intensity of the vibration. That's too much to think about. And if you're going to do that and try to get chasing your fluency by doing these things that do require so much effort, you're going to burn out really quickly, even if it does help you not to have a block or a repetition. So I really think that this way is not the best way if you stutter. And trying to get a result without even understanding how the result is gotten is kind of like chasing your tail, I think. You know, I think that we don't know. Sometimes you are fluent. Sometimes you're speaking and wow, you're just fluent. And then you think to yourself, what did I do? What did I do? I don't know what I did, but I'm going to try and do it again. So what happens? You start trying to be fluent again, and then you start stuttering more. Okay, so that is one option. And I want you to write down in the comments if that's the option that you believe is the best option for you to try to learn a technique that's magically going to make you be fluent. And if that's what you've been doing, if that's what you want to keep doing. Those are two different questions. And then let's look at the other option. The other option is to accept that you stutter. And I think accepting that there is something that I do that might not be like everybody else does it. Personally, I think it's a wonderful thing. I think that we all do things differently, and that it is great to be self-accepting. At the same time, do we want to always be in the same place all of our life? Do we want to never make changes? And the problem with accepting stuttering is that we all have a need to express ourselves. And it gets to be frustrating when you have difficulty expressing yourself. And the difficulty when you're stuttering, it isn't just the block. It isn't just the repetition. If it were just that, okay, so there's a block, so it takes me a little bit longer to say something. But it's often more than that. It's often that you're so really, even though you're accepting that you stutter, you want to get the word out. So inadvertently, you do try to find ways to get the word out. And then what happens is you get angry with yourself because you should be accepting your stuttering. And so you get frustrated with yourself. But it's natural to want to be able to say what we want to say. So it puts you kind of in a conundrum there. So please, if you're a person who believes that we should accept that we stutter and really not do anything about it, just to the best of our ability accept it, please write it down in the comments below. I really love to know who believes what. And there's no right and wrong here. It's only what's helping you the best. That's the only thing. So there's no, this is the right way and it's the only way, and if you don't agree with me, it's no good. But we have to think if it's the best for us as a person. Then there's another way. And now I'm going to tell you about a third option. A third option is to learn what it is that is going on inside of me that causes my speech to be stuttered. Not the speech, but what is going on. What are my thoughts? What's my intent? Anyone who believes to accept to stutter, you have lost the battle. It's definitely, I guess, not the best. Never give up. Yeah, but the truth is that sometimes when people stop trying to be fluent, they let go a little bit. And then it is easier for them to speak. And that relates to what I am trying to express and to explain, and what I am trying to show to all of you who stutter. That there is a way that you can learn to understand how stuttering is created. What is the thought process? What are the habits that you have gotten into? And we all get into habits. I mean, I didn't have a Boston accent for nothing. I got into the habit of not saying ah or R. And so, what our brain process, you can call it a procedural habit. So our brains get used to working a certain way. If we start to understand this way and we make changes, then we're not trying to be fluent, but we're trying to make it easy for ourselves to speak in as easy a way as possible. So it means making changes on many levels. The procedural level, what the brain is actually doing to create the speech. what your intentions are, how you feel about speaking, all of your thoughts that surround it, the self-talk that you put into your own mind that gets to be habitual too, like, uh-oh, maybe I'll make a fool of myself or something like that. All this can change, and so much more can change too. Matthew, I know you've got a lot to say about this, so I'm glad you're watching. And it's the comment that you started that I was really sort of on this topic as well. A little different angle, but sort of on this topic. And I know that you and I agree a lot that there is so much that can be done to make changes. But changes isn't running after fluency. Changes is making changes inside on many levels. Sometimes this is done through therapy. Sometimes people just do it as they're growing and as they're learning. And sometimes some self-help, some self-therapy is really the best way to go. Because if you do self-therapy, then you look and you try to be the one who helps yourself and not just put it into the clinician's hands, make me change. So there is so much that can be done. And I would really love for all of you to think about it. How have you been going up till now? Do you want to maybe change a little bit your direction? Do you want to really understand stuttering and all the things that go into making it? And then making some gradual changes. Changes, not just so I'm going to be fluent for my presentation tomorrow, but changes within yourself that will make it easier for you to speak. So, hi Ing, self-therapy is good. Yeah, I think it's good too. And I think that every therapy, even if you go to a clinician and you are getting the guidance that you need, you've got to be doing self-therapy. You can't just say, and unfortunately so often, I have had people, come to me for therapy, and then I see them one week and give them some assignments, some things to do in different levels, and then I say to them the next week, well, how did it go? What did you do? Well, I really didn't have time to really relate to it this week. I had this to do and that to do. And I get that, but it's not going to make change if you're not doing the self-investigation, exploration, changes little by little, little by little. Best way to go. So, it's been fun talking to all of you, and I'm looking forward to seeing the comments below. Please comment. Let's get a discussion going here. And let me know. And if you agree with me or not, that self-therapy, be it totally on your own or guided by things you read or by a clinician or someone, what you think is the best way for you. So, I hope you'll all put on your running shoes to do a marathon, but not to try to be chasing fluency. Okay, have a happy, healthy, great beginning of this summer or fall if you're down under. And I'll see you soon for another Facebook Live. Also, if you have a topic, let me know, okay? Be happy to discuss any topic that might be of interest to you. See you soon. Bye.